good, Big Blue family? Welcome to Big Blue Reborn, the podcast where the Giants fans come for real conversations, real accountability, and real standards. No media fluff, no spin, just honest New York Giants talk. I'm Milton. I'm here with my cousin Ethan. Since this is episode 1, I'm going to explain to you how the show works and while we move through it. Big Blue check-in. We're going to start every episode with what we call the Big Blue check-in. That's where we start and we deal with the real facts, what's actually happening with the Giants before we get to our opinions. So today, we're going to start with John Harbaugh. What you thinking, Ethan? How are we feeling about this staff he's putting together?
Man, John Harbaugh, he's doing his thing, man. Uh, oh, it looks like he's putting together the Avengers, man. We getting everybody we need to start competing at a high level. Starting off with the offensive coordinator Matt Nagy
Yeah.
and our defensive coordinator Denard Wilson. I feel like we're putting together a team that's gonna be built to win for several seasons. So I like John Harbaugh as a head coach, CEO. I like Matt Nagy for his adaptability and passing concepts. I like Denard Wilson for his versatile with his secondary and making those guys a fearsome foursome to be reckoned with. So I'm liking all the hires, and he's even making hires that are complementing each other with hires like Greg Roman for the run game because Matt Nagy's been known not to have the greatest run game, but
Yep.
he realizes that he's adaptable and people are able to work together to put our team in the best position to win. So,
No, definitely. That's probably, I'll be honest with you,
mhm.
prior to the quarterbacks coach that they hired today, I'll say Roman was probably my favorite hire because the Matt Nagy was left field. We were like, wait a minute. All
Yeah,
right, I didn't hear this name. Where did
right.
this guy come from? And then after you do your research, the first thing you hear is he didn't run the ball very well. He didn't run the ball very well. And then the next day we get the guru, run game guru. They put Roman in there, and I'm like, yo, John Harbaugh's man, just let him cook. Just let
Yeah,
him
for
cook,
real,
because
for
you
real.
stressing one day, then the next day that question that you had was answered, you know?
Hmm.
And the big thing we talking about is the quarterback coach. Who are we gonna get to teach Dart the way to become the next MVP of the Super Bowl? Who are you gonna put back there that's gonna like whisper into his ear, let him know, hey, pause. But hey,
Hey,
you
hey,
need to
yo.
tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get us
Hmm.
to the big game. Let's get us to some meaningful football in December.
Hmm.
So this coach, he worked with Peyton Manning, Stafford, Derek Carr, and then Joe Burrow during his
Yo.
Super Bowl run years. You know what I'm saying? So if we got a quarterback whisperer right here, he's not a head coach. All he needs to do is focus. His job is to focus on getting Jackson Dart
Right.
to the MVP. That's it.
Hmm.
So it's like people that are like, oh man, I don't know about this hire. Like, understand we didn't hire him as a head coach. We hired him as a quarterback coach. That's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, and
Greg
I just,
Roman,
I
like
just,
they were like, yo, he didn't have a good offense. He's not the offensive coordinator. He's here to make
right,
sure that the whole complete picture looks good. You
right.
feel me? So I'm liking what he's doing. The defensive
Yeah.
staff, bro, he's going in with Wilson and the staff that he's putting together.
Hmm.
That Titans linebacker coach that he just put on, he's kind of
Are
just
you
a
talking
tank.
about Frank Bush?
Yeah,
Frank Bush. We got a couple of. So I could just list some of the guys that he's got.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said Brian Callahan at offensive. I mean QB coach, running back coach Willie Taggart, wide receiver coach Chad Hall, tight end coach Tim Kelly, offensive line Mike Bloomgren, defensive line Dennis Johnson, outside linebacker Charlie Bullen. He was our interim defensive coordinator at the end of the year that helped Abdul Carter get those sacks going.
Okay.
Um, Regular linebacker coach, well, inside linebacker, Frank Bush, and our defensive back coach Donald Diego. I butchered that, but I mean he sounds like he know what he's talking about. So I just like the coaches that he's put together. I feel like my own opinion that everyone has enough experience. It's going to be able to work together. You know, with the right structure. You know, you got enough guys that have been doing this for a long time that are gonna put their best foot forward because we have a good team. You know, we just have to translate that into wins. And I feel like with this staff and luck coming our way, no injuries, knock on wood,
Mhm.
we can do well. We can do well next year. So I like the coaches that he put together.
I think the experience that's behind all the people that he brought together is going to be the key. Just like you said before, like we got a young roster. We got a young roster. So with him bringing in a bunch of experienced coaches, I think that just automatically catapults us into a much better position right out the gate. Now, once we start getting the actual game plans together and everything like that, it's only up from here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I always go back to we only won 4 games last season, so can we really get much worse? Yes, but I don't see it happening under Harbaugh.
Right. I mean, 4 wins. It's really hard to get worse than 4 wins. But
Hey, you
all
gotta
I can
try.
say is, I mean, with a second year under Dart's belt, because I mean everything runs through the quarterback. As long as the quarterback can move the ball and we got a good run game,
Mhm.
our offense should be good. Our defense, the thing is, can we stop the run?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's not just the play calling for stopping the run; it's the personnel. And this is where I want to see John Harbaugh do well, like in the draft, free agency, who we pick up. I feel like we're going to get some veterans that are going to be able to make a difference. So
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the season.
It's nothing but good things to look forward to, man. So it's nothing to you should be excited. Shoot. It's the most exciting
Yeah.
thing we've had in a while, so there's no reason not to be excited.
Right. Like I think the most exciting win I've seen in a while. I mean, obviously was the last one and when in Minnesota when we beat them but we got smacked in the divisional round, but that wild card game. I think it was the first game for Brian Dable and the versus the Tennessee Titans that we won by because he let Saquon go for two and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Saquon
yeah,
runs it
yeah.
up the middle and
I
gets
remember
it.
that.
But yeah, and we technically we won because of a missed field goal,
Yeah.
but
But
it,
still,
it was just
it was the decision making in the fourth quarter. Like that was
hmm
like, oh, okay. Dayball was like, okay, you going for it? That's how you feel? Nah, I remember that.
right, exactly.
It was live. I remember that. I was like,
And then
that's when
seeing
everybody you saw the Dayball t-shirts the next game.
yeah, right,
Like
right,
you saw his head all over the stadium. Like, yeah, everybody was hyped for Dayball after that. I was too, man. I liked Dayball. I didn't want to get rid
yeah,
of him. I
right.
personally thought he was a great
Offensive coordinator.
there you go. Great
Yeah, he was
coordinator. He was a good person to be with Dart. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Again,
exactly. He wanted
the
Dart. That's the
situation.
reason. I think he's the reason why we got him.
It put a bad taste in my mouth when, the whole Wink situation went down. And that's when you started to see like the egos exploding and then the narrative
Right.
of he's always exploding on the sideline and things like that. So I definitely I definitely messed with Dayball, but then I was like, all right, if you were in a position that your ego was flaring like that to where you let Wink walk out the door, then there's a little concern there, because
Yeah.
he was a good defensive coordinator. So as a head coach, you should be able to swallow your pride and keep what's good. And if
Yeah.
you can't get down like that, man. So hey, we got Denard Wilson mini Wink now, so it's all good.
I know, right? And I just think that with Denard Wilson, because he's been known as a DB's kind of guy, like I just want our secondary to be able to get their hands on some footballs, get some interceptions, even, just even just swatting the ball, just being there and because I feel like just watching the TV broadcast, I always never see the safeties making any type of plays. It was always like a corner or something like, or it had to be the defensive line. I don't know where the linebackers were this year. I know Micah McFadden was hurt, but
Yeah.
Bobby Okereke didn't have the best year. Maybe it was just the system for him didn't really work that well. But I just have faith that with John Harbaugh, the system is going to be like a well-oiled machine.
Hmm.
There's going to be some hiccups, but overall, we should be doing a lot better.
Yeah. Most definitely. All right. So moving right along, the big blue spotlight. Next
Mm,
up is the big blue spotlight. Basically, every week we're going to highlight a moment, one team, one player, one situation, something worth mentioning for the week, whether it's with us or another team in the area. But today, what we're going to talk about the most recent game that was played, that Super Bowl, man. How you feel about the Super
mm.
Bowl? How'd you feel about it?
Super Bowl 60. I enjoyed it. Just being a guy that likes defense, I really did enjoy it. From the Seahawks point of view, I just felt like they really didn't let Drake May get comfortable whatsoever. Even when he threw a touchdown, it was just like I'm putting it up there and I hope my guy comes down with it kind of thing. And I'm really happy for the ex Giants that were on the field, you know, uh Julian Love, Leonard Williams, uh just I'm just happy for those guys. The Seahawks, congratulations to them. It was a good game. I feel like on the Pacers, Drake May wasn't. I'm not saying that he wasn't ready. They just
Nah, he wasn't ready.
yeah, all right, he wasn't ready.
You can,
Yeah, he wasn't
well, we
ready.
don't even need to beat
He
around the
wasn't
bush. Like, he
ready.
wasn't
But
ready. No, real talk, he
so
wasn't.
I mean, and that just goes with experience. So hopefully, we can have a similar season like the Patriots, but it ends in a better way than the Patriots, where our second year quarterback, with a good head coach, is able to go there with, some veterans around him. He never really had a great number one wide receiver. I feel like that's the difference even for us. We got Malik Neighbors, rest up Malik. I hope you come back 10 times as better.
Mhm.
Um, I think we even have a better run game. Hopefully we get some other pieces in the draft, a couple of young players that could help us move forward into just being a consistent playoff team that is always in contention to make a Super Bowl. Because at every analyst on ESPN or whatever is always saying these are the top five teams. I just wanted to get into that rankings of, okay, the Giants are here and the Giants are really here to stay, especially
Mhm.
because of Jackson Dart. It always boils down to the quarterback, and there's a lot of pressure on him, but we from the city where pressure makes legends.
You
So
already know. You already know. That's one thing.
what you think about the Super Bowl?
So the one thing that I'll say is I already knew going in that it was
Mhm.
one of two things. Either Drake May was gonna come out and we were gonna see the second coming of Tom Brady and he was gonna go
Okay.
bananas, or
Right.
he was gonna be it was gonna be too big of a moment for him. And I think
Mm.
personally, just 2 years into the league, that defense that Seattle came with was way too much for him. He didn't know what to do with it. The
Right.
first few sacks that they got to him, then after that, it was like he was just frantic. He couldn't find his receivers. He couldn't find people. And then if you're playing frantic and you can't see where your receivers at and you're relying on a screen or a quick dump off or a dump off to the flats all game,
Right.
you see the end result. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was rough, but I personally, like I said, it was a good game. They tried to do a little something at the end of the game, but as
Right.
far as Seattle came, I said before, like K9 was gonna be a major part of this game.
Yup.
I didn't think Sam Darnold was gonna go crazy, but I knew for a fact that running game was gonna be something serious, and he went crazy.
Yeah, he definitely did. I'm mad that they took that touchdown off the board for Kenneth Walker.
That was
And
Vegas.
I
They
mean, the
called
game
that.
could have been way different if Sam Darnold hits JSN. If he hits him when he overthrew him, he
Yeah,
gets that touchdown. Oh my gosh, then it's a way different game because they were still trying to. I think that was in like the second quarter. They were still trying to run the ball at that point. If they had scored that touchdown because they went into half, I think it was like 9-0. If if he hits that play and they go down and score, you don't run now. You can't run the ball whatsoever, and
yeah,
sticking to the run just would have been bad for the Patriots. I mean, they ended up abandoning it. But they never got Trayvon Henderson going, but that's just like an offensive line kind of thing. Like
yeah.
it was just you win in the trenches. How we win our Super Bowls with Eli, we won in the trenches, and then Eli made plays when he needed to.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it was an enjoyable watch for me. A lot of people were saying it was a bad Super Bowl because there wasn't enough scoring. This is exactly why I'm about to go off on a rant because it's like
Go ahead, let them
it's
know.
hard for defenders to even play nowadays because
Yeah,
the rules are against them and the fines are against them. Like I'm not about to uh, try and hit somebody and really make sure that they know that I'm here if I'm going to lose my game check. Like
mhm.
the fines are ridiculous. They don't really let these guys play. Joe Flacco was talking about like how this era is different. Yeah, I get it. Like there's a lot of injuries and everything, but it's like you can't play good defensive football. The 2000 Ravens would never be able to play in this kind of era. There's
Oh,
just too
so
much
many
rules,
flags.
and then you would too many flags. You would think their
So
defense isn't
many
good. It's
flags.
just so.
The football I grew up on, like when I started watching football to what we have now, hell nah, bro. The people be ejected.
Yeah,
Like I said,
what?
well, I'm telling you, like
Right.
look, Brian Dawkins was one of my first people, bro, that I really liked watching. I'm
Mm,
telling you right now, he would not be able to play in the league right now, not because of his
right.
physical aspect, but because of the
Mm-hmm.
fact that he was trying to kill people, bro. This my
And
man was doing WWE suplexes on people.
bro, you see the
Receivers.
one picture of him like jumping like this, and he was about to tackle the
I'm telling you, they called him Wolverine
Giants
because
wide
of the way
receiver.
he used to dive and just like, bro, my man was
Yeah, man.
crazy. He was
And
crazy.
the thing is, like, see how we're older, and you can tell like your favorite player at a time was Brian Dawkins, a safety. I'm sure people in the and kids nowadays can't even name safeties because you never see them. They never really make plays.
You know
They don't
what?
make
That's
those
true.
hard
That's true.
hits. And like now everyone's favorite player is the wide receiver or the running back or the quarterback. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that because defensive players can't make plays,
Hmm.
it's like they can't get that recognition that they deserve. Yeah, you
Anymore,
might
yeah.
get like a Kyle Hamilton, but like, Kyle Hamilton's like one of one. He's like a unicorn.
Yep.
So,
You gotta
the
have like
next up is
35 interceptions for somebody to be talking about you on the defensive side.
exactly. So yeah, I'm sure people can't name five safeties in the NFL nowadays just because you never see them. Especially even on the TV broadcast, you only see the front nine,
Yeah,
like so you don't see anybody else. The two safeties are back because that's the kind of league it's in, two high league. But
that's where it is now. It's an
yeah,
offensive league. They want to just see points, points, points. They're just the passing skeleton. They barely want to see the running game anymore. It's just like again, they'd be okay if it's 45 passes a game.
Oh my
As long as we
gosh.
see it, 27 and 34,
Right,
no defense
exactly.
played at all.
Right. They like to see the just the scoring. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, like scoring is good, but like it has to be because like, all right, you ran the ball effectively and then the linebackers bit on the play action and now the wide receivers making a play. You make somebody miss on they think they's about to crack you and you make somebody miss and now you make a juke and like, that's football.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm with you on that. So
yeah,
moving
man.
on. Next segment. We call it the Big Blue Roll Call. Big Blue Roll Call. This is the segment where we bring in the fans, we bring in the city, we
Mhm.
bring in New York. We ask y'all what you're thinking, what your expectations are of the team. Since this is episode one, this is our invite to be a part of it. If you're rocking with the conversations, like the video, comment, let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and any kind of suggestions that you have for us going forward. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're building this for the Giants fans, so tap in.
All right. We need help to get better. We need we need just the ideas, the love of the city, just to take it one day at a time just to get better. Like it's just like practice, man. You gotta you just gotta keep getting better, keep getting better.
Gotta get your reps
Stay
in.
hungry.
Gotta get your reps
You
in.
stay hungry.
You know what I mean? Can't do it if you're not getting no live reps, right?
Exactly. Live raps. There you go. I like that one.
And then the to move on from the roll call, what we have is the Big Blue Standard. Big Blue Standard is how we're gonna close every episode. The standard is about us holding the Giants accountable. We're gonna be talking about our opinions and what we think they're doing and how they're setting up the foundation. But
Right.
today, since it's episode 1, what we're gonna talk about is how we became Giants fans. So, Ethan,
Mm,
let me know, how did it start for you?
okay. Well, my I became a Giants fan because of my uncle. Rest in peace, my uncle Joe. He first came to this country, and my dad had took him to a Giants game. My dad's not a real big. He wasn't a real big sports fan. So, he was just like, if I live in this area, I'll enjoy the sports because other buddies of his were into that sport. So my uncle came to this country and he seen Lawrence Taylor play live as his first. If you see the greatest defensive player ever in your first football game, he was like, I gotta be a fan of this man, right? And me back in like 2004, 2005, I'm starting to get a little bit bigger, starting to play some sports. And my uncle's like, man, do you want to be cool? I'm like, yeah, I want to be cool. He was like, you got to be a fan of this team right here, the New York Football Giants. And my eyes lit up. Then I went down the rabbit hole looking at Michael Strahan, OC. Well, no, I'm sorry. Michael Strahan, Eli Manning, Amani Toomer,
Mhm,
like Jeremy Shockey, all these players that are always a giant.
mhm.
Just the players that you can look back on and say, "Wow, those were really good football players, and they really made the team what they are to this day."
They set
You
the
know,
standard.
they set the
They
standard.
set the
Yes,
standard.
sir. Yes, sir. So, and just that's just those days, man. That's when defense was played, and having a quarterback like Eli Manning, and
Yeah,
oh gosh,
Captain
just
Clutch right there.
man, you got me reminiscing, man, reminiscing. But hey, Mick, how'd you become a Giants fan?
Alright. 2006, I was told that we were gonna be moving out of New York. I was in Long Island. 2006,
Mm,
my aunt told me we're gonna be moving next year. We're going to Virginia. So, at the time, I was watching football, but I didn't really, pay much attention. I didn't really take it that serious, so I would watch it here and there. I liked players. I didn't have a favorite team. I just liked
okay,
when I saw crazy hits, like Brian Dawkins,
yeah,
like I brought up earlier. That was my favorite player when I first started watching any kind of football because he used to take
hmm
people's head off. So I used to love watching them games because I'm like, yo, who is he gonna take out today, bro? People end up
yeah, right,
on the stretcher after they messing with him. So I used to love watching them games, bro, because it was
uh,
crazy like seeing bruh, is my man good?
yeah. I know,
Like
right?
you'd be concerned, like, yo, my man's not moving, bro. So it
We
was
used to
like
cheer for
crazy
those
football
hits.
at that time. And we had moved out here in 2007. When I got out to Virginia going into school, it was the towards the end of the school year, um, or the middle of the school year, towards the end of the football season, I should say, is when we were moving out. And
Right.
all I see is Redskins jerseys walking around the school and everything like that. So everybody loved the Redskins. I didn't mess with the
Okay.
Redskins, and I didn't want to just be like that bandwagon hopper and be like, yeah, yeah, let me like the team because everybody else likes it. So I'm like, I'm gonna rep
Okay.
my state, man. I just came from New York, but you got two options. You got the Jets or the Giants. So you know damn well, unfortunately, I wasn't putting on no greens.
Mm,
At the
right.
time, I was like, "Yo, let me
Yeah.
start watching these Giants, man." And this playoff run from Eli during that year was the craziest thing I have ever experienced. Still to this day,
Hmm.
haven't seen any quarterback do nothing like this. But
Yeah.
he
All
went
those away
through.
games.
He got us to the wild card game. He beat Tampa Bay. Then he got to the conference final and he played against the Cowboys, America's team, the rivals, and everybody was
Right.
there because he ran through Tom Brady. I mean, not Tom Brady,
Hmm.
Tony Romo. And then
Right. Right.
boom,
Right.
you get to the next level. You get the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre. Like, what are we talking about? Brett Favre? What?
Charles
And he
Woodson.
beats him too. And then you get up
Yeah,
to the
that
final
Ice
ball.
Tundra Bowl.
The final boss, Tom Brady, undefeated season. Like, I'm like, dog, everything is betting against us. You know for a fact, everybody in the world's like the Giants. Come on, bro. The Patriots
Yeah,
are
come on,
undefeated. There's
man.
no way. And what did Eli
Hmm.
do? Went in there and put work in. Let them know
Yes, sir.
that fourth quarter pass to Plaxico. I'm telling you, lost my
Hmm.
mind. I was like, yo, it's the craziest game because it's again
Yeah,
all those games that I just mentioned, all on the road. Like,
yeah.
most of the time, teams don't perform very well on the road, let alone being in the
That's
playoffs. Every game,
right.
bro, 10 consecutive wins, road games for the Giants. Like, that's a crazy season. That's a
Yeah,
crazy
it is. And then to essentially beat like one of the greatest teams ever put together,
Those were
18
Hall of
and
Fame
1,
quarterbacks.
like yeah, Tom Brady, I think that probably hurts Tom Brady the most out of any ring at any game. Like, come on. You almost had the perfect season, but it was ruined by Peyton Manning's little brother,
Yep.
Eli.
And
Ooh.
he hears about it
And
all the time. You
yeah,
can't
they
live that
call him
down.
Eli Manning's son. And just like even that play to David Tyree when Eli breaks the sack and his offensive line is looking at him like,
Yep.
bro, what do I do?
Yep.
And Eli just launches it,
Steps up.
and David Tyree comes down with it. I don't know if you've ever heard Michael Strahan talk about like David Tyree that
Yes.
week of practice. David Tyree was dropping the ball so
Everything.
many
Dropping
times. He said he
everything.
couldn't catch a cold. He couldn't catch anything, but he comes up in the biggest moment, in the biggest stage,
Yes.
being a role guy. He scored a touchdown in that game too
Yep.
earlier.
Yep.
So it's just like it's
Strahan was
like
like,
it
he was
feels like New
catching
York.
everything that day.
Hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning that Super Bowl. And man, let me tell you, being a young man going into school and just talking crap to everybody, and
Yes.
they were saying Eli, man, is bad. Oh, that game was luck. That game was luck. Y'all gonna
Yep.
keep saying the game was luck? Even the Super Bowl beating, man, I don't want to
Yeah.
hear none of that.
Oh, yeah,
And,
exactly.
and Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. He's been snubbed
So
twice. He's been snubbed twice. Look, I
yeah, I
hear
mean they
you.
snubbed Bill Belichick, so I mean I kind
Yeah.
of get. I
Yeah.
mean, once they snub Bill, because I got love for Bill too. He got 2 rings with us back in the '80s, so I got love for Bill. So my
It's
thing
open.
is
Once
just
Bill didn't get in, it's open season at that point. They don't care.
yeah,
They
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 don't
they just
care if Bill
denying
got it.
anybody at this point.
Exactly. Next is Tom Brady. They're gonna be like,
Yep.
Tom, I don't know.
Mhm.
I know he got 7 rings, but he did have Deflategate. Like, bro,
They're
what,
gonna figure out some way to rectify the voters, and they'll probably revote. That's what I think
yeah.
they're gonna do. They're gonna get. I think personally, just from a fan's perspective,
Hmm.
Hall of Fame voters should only be Hall of Fame coaches that have been in the Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame players that are
Hmm.
already in. Those are the only people that should be voting. I don't think
Right.
anybody else has a say in that particular field at all.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Hall of Famers should speak on Hall of Famers.
Like you can't
But
just have somebody that's a stat sheet, a spreadsheet reader telling us who's gonna be in the Hall of Fame and who isn't because of their emotions that day. Like that's not gonna fly because that's
yeah, I
clearly what
hear
they
what you're
have in place
saying.
right now. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I mean, how they do the voting, it does need to be updated, but I don't mind certain people because everybody has an opinion on how certain things we see certain things, but I feel like with the overall resume and the consensus is generally like he should be in there. Like no shade against Luke Kuechly, he got in,
Mhm.
but Luke Kuechly is a linebacker and he played very well. But for him to make it over Bill Belichick, it rubs me. It grinds my gears.
Just
So
that's unheard of. It doesn't.
yeah,
That's
definitely,
obnoxious.
definitely, man. And then Luke Kuechly getting in before Eli. Man, I mean, yeah, I'm biased. I'm a Giants fan, but like
Nah,
the
there's
man
no
won two
science there.
Super Bowl rings and the other man won 8. Like, come on,
What are we doing?
rings should count for something. I don't know why people seem to forget that rings count for something. It
Apparently,
should be a little
apparently
bit
the hardware
higher.
is nothing.
You
Just
know,
jewelry to them.
exactly. That jewelry makes the difference. Is why all NFL. I mean, all NFL, I'm sure every NFL player wants to win the Super Bowl. Of course, they all want to get paid, you know, and take care of their family. That should be number one. And then, you want that ring.
Yeah, no, definitely.
God, family, football, right? I think
Exactly.
that's usually how it goes. God, family, football.
And on that
So,
note, that is episode 1 of Big Blue Reborn. If you rock with it,
mm,
like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. This is the standard.
okay. There you go. Go Giants.
From the city where pressure makes legends. This is Big Blue Reborn. Big Blue checking, we start with the facts. Spotlight on the moment, who really got next? Roll call for the city where the real ones at. The standard at the end, no excuses, no cap. Big Blue Reborn. This is the standard. This is Big Blue Reborn. From the city where pressure makes legends. This is Big Blue Reborn. Big Blue checking, we start with the facts. Spotlight on the moment, who really got next? Roll call for the city where the real ones at. The standard at the end, no excuses, no cap, no tag, no tag, no trap. Big Blue Reborn. It's the standard. Yeah. This is Big Blue Reborn. From the city where pressure makes legends.